Hey everyone, so I am making a video about my Blu-ray collection that I have pretty much been collecting for like, I don't know, a little over a year. Just something I like to do. I really love movies. So yeah, the first movie I'll talk about is the first Blu-ray I ever got called Miracle. And really, if you're from Minnesota, this is probably like one of your favorite movies of all time. One of the best sports movies ever. So that's nothing much else I can really say about that one. Next movie is my favorite movie of all time. It's called Drive. And I got this just Christmas, so a few months ago. And if you haven't seen it, I would really recommend seeing it. Like every single person I've ever talked to, they probably know that's my favorite movie. So, yeah. The next movie I'm going to talk about is called Winter's Bone. And it was the first movie I ever saw Jennifer Lawrence in. And it's a movie that not too many people I've talked to know about. It's basically about Jennifer Lawrence's character who lives in a pretty bad home, and her dad runs off and doesn't pay for the house, so she's got to try and find him, and really recommend it. It won winner of Best Picture at the Grand Jury and the Sundance Film Festival, so I would check that one out. The next movie I'll talk about is also another movie not too many people know about. It's called The Proposition, and it's got Guy Pearce, if you've ever seen Memento. He's in it. I don't want to tell too much about this one just because I knew absolutely nothing before I saw it, and it blew me away. It's basically all you need to know is it's a Western and that Guy Pearce is in it, and I would definitely check this one out too. Obviously, I have to have this. It's called Semi-Pro. Everybody knows this one. It's got Will Ferrell. Very funny movie. This next one is also a movie probably nobody knows too much about. It's called Rounders. And it's got Matt Damon and Edward Norton. And it's basically just about them working together to con some people out playing poker. I would really recommend this one as well. It was made in 1998, so the year after, or 2 years after, I think it was the year after Good Will Hunting, so it was right after Matt Damon really took off, so I would recommend this one. The next movie we're going to talk about is called No Country for Old Men. The movie, obviously, that won all the awards. Has Javier Bardem. It's got Tommy Lee Jones and Josh Brolin. Really, really good movie. One of the Coen brothers' better movies, in my opinion, next to probably The Big Lebowski. Unfortunately, I don't own The Big Lebowski, but yeah, definitely check this one out. Even if you have seen it, just watch it again. Can never go wrong with this one. The next movie I have is called American Psycho with Christian Bale. Christian Bale is definitely one of my favorite actors, and I think American Psycho is his better movie, like one of his best movies that I've ever seen. And it definitely is like one of the most quotable movies I've ever seen. Every line is just hilarious. Willem Dafoe is also in it. Reese Witherspoon's in it. If you haven't seen this, just go into it unexpectedly because you will laugh your head off or be disturbed. Either one. Check it out. This next one I got a few months back for my graduation party from my brother. It's called Paul. And Paul is very, very underrated comedy in my own opinion. It's the two guys from Shaun of the Dead with Seth Rogen over like doing the voice of an alien. And it's just a very goofy movie, very, very underrated comedy. I would check this one out if you haven't. The next movie I got, I received harsh words from recommending it. Well, not harsh words, but people I recommended to did not seem to enjoy it, but I really liked it. It was called Cabin in the Woods, and it was definitely an under-the-radar horror movie when it came out. Came out the same weekend that this movie Lockdown, I think it's called, with Guy Pearce came out, and also The Three Stooges came out, so just a awful weekend for movies, and just flew under the radar. But on Rotten Tomatoes, it's at like 90%. Awesome movie. Does a great job at making fun of the horror franchise while also just staying relatively gory and awesome. And if you liked the films Evil Dead, you will definitely like this one. It's awesome at being gory and funny all at the same time. But check this one out. The next movie I hadn't seen until about a year ago. It's called up in the air, and it was one of the movies that kind of got me into George Clooney, to be honest, because I had always thought he was just some pretty boy, but he's definitely a great actor. He definitely did very well in this movie. Also, I always forget her name, but what is it? Vera Farmiga. Probably butchered her name, but awesome movie. Great, like the ending. I did not see the ending coming. It's definitely catches you off guard. It's a very good movie. Anna Kendrick's in it. She was nominated. George Clooney was nominated, I believe. Nominated for Best Picture. If you've never seen it, I'd check it out. It's worth seeing. This next movie was by far my favorite movie that I had seen of all last year. It's a movie called Place Beyond the Pines. And it stars Ryan Gosling, Eva Mendes, Bradley Cooper, and even Ray Liotta. And it is just the best movie. One of the best movies. I saw it with my friend Connor and Mike. And at the end, we were all kind of just like, in a way, like, we didn't really understand like how good the movie was. Like, we knew it was amazing, but there were just so many parts that we were blown away by. And so if you haven't seen this, I would really recommend it. It's basically just got amazing actors, amazing story. It's 2.5 hours long, but it goes by like an hour-and-a-half movie. Check it out. The next movie I have is definitely one of my favorite movies too. Also, a friend I work with, he said this is one of his favorite movies along with The Matrix. It's called V for Vendetta. And I read the comic. I mean, I read the graphic novel. Awesome read. Check that out too. But it goes along very well. I thought the movie does a great job. I think everybody I've talked to agrees that this is one of the better movies portraying a graphic novel. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. The next two movies I'm going to talk about are coming from the director David Fincher. Unfortunately, the only 2 Blu-rays I own by him, but I own a few DVDs of him as well. I own Zodiac, the DVD, but it's called Fight Club, which a lot of you have seen, and the movie Seven. Seven has got Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman solving awful murder, trying to get to the bottom of it. Really just awesome movie. And the killer, who I'm not going to say because I didn't know it when I saw it, the killer is a very famous actor, but he is not credited in the movie, just to give you the surprise. So definitely check it out. One of the more quotable ending lines, "What's in the box?" If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Then Fight Club, if you haven't seen it, I'm very disappointed because it's definitely another one of my favorites. Brad Pitt, I think this is arguably his best performance. Probably along with Snatch, I'd say. But this is all just awesome movie. Edward Norton's awesome. I mean, it's just about fighting. And Project Mayhem. Can't go wrong. Love this movie. The next movie is also one of those comedies that I kind of saw and was not expecting a whole lot from, but really just one of the funnier movies I've seen in a while. It was called 21 Jump Street, with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. And Ice Cube's in it as well. I was just really not expecting too much from this when I saw it, and it was hilarious. Every line was hilarious, and it had a good story, and I just really can't say enough about how funny this movie is. You just need to check it out for yourself. The next 2 movies are from the director Michael Mann, and it's called Collateral, a movie not too many people I've talked to have seen it. It's got Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, made back in like 2004, before I really knew too much about Jamie Foxx, and both of them are just awesome in their characters, and it's so believable. I'd really recommend it. And the next one is called Public Enemies, also by director Michael Mann. And it's got Christian Bale, it's got Johnny Depp, just an awesome movie. First time I saw it, I was kind of young, so I didn't really care too much for it, but I saw it again just a few months ago, because I got this on Blu-ray, I think last Christmas, so about a year ago, and it was just awesome. I really loved it, and I'd really recommend it if you haven't seen it. Very good historical movie. Also, Channing Tatum's in it before he was really too famous. So yeah, give this one a watch too. All right, the next one is called Les Miserables, or Les Mis, and it didn't get as much appreciation as I thought it should. Like, obviously, it was nominated for a lot, but I also heard a lot of people hate on it. But I mean, I loved it. All the actors did an awesome job. Really cool story. People said it was too long. I mean, I saw it like 3 times in theaters. I loved it. Got Anne Hathaway, when she's only in it for 10 minutes, won the Oscar. She's awesome. Russell Crowe was my favorite character of Javert. Just a really cool movie. I'd give this a recommendation. All of these movies, I'd probably stop saying I should give them a recommendation. I'd recommend all of these. These are like movies that have really influenced me to pursue writing and screenwriting. So all of these have really been influences. This one, just awesome. Awesome music. This next movie is called Sling Blade, and it has, Billy Bob Thornton. I'm blanking on his name. But Billy Bob Thornton, you know he is a very good actor, and this is one of those movies where he just completely changes. He is a different person, a different guy in this movie, and it was just crazy to watch because it's just nothing you would have expected from him, and it's a great movie. I would recommend this. If you haven't seen it, go into it without knowing anything about it. You will love it. The next movie I have is definitely another one of my favorites for the year that it came out. It's called Flight with Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington plays a pilot named Whip Whitaker who is driving an airplane that has malfunctions, but it just so happens to crash, not because of him, but while it crashes, he is under the influence of drugs and alcohol. So it's basically, he saves everybody, pretty much everybody on the flight, but just because he was on the drugs and alcohol, the whole movie is surrounding that and what'll happen to him in the end. Awesome movie. The next one I have is The Usual Suspects. And it's got Kevin Spacey, Benicio del Toro, Stephen Baldwin, Gabrielle Byrne. Awesome movie. It's very funny, and it's definitely just a cool crime movie. And like it says on the back, funniest and scariest crime thriller since Pulp Fiction. And it's, I mean, I like this one just as much as Pulp Fiction, if not even a little bit more, to be honest. Very under the radar film with a lot of people I've talked to, like my age. Not too many people know about it, but I would really recommend seeing it. Kevin Spacey is awesome. There he is. Oh, right there. Kevin Spacey. Good actor. Check it out. The next one I have, when I first saw it, I didn't really care too much for it. I saw it with my buddy Thomas, and we were kind of both just a little disappointed, but I guess I was too young to really appreciate it. It's called The Other Guys, and I bought this at Half Price Books, and I was just like, I don't know, it's cheap, it's like $5, why not just get it, I'll check it out again. Loved it. I thought it was hilarious the second time around. I took a break about 4 years before I saw it again. Really funny movie. Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg go perfectly together. Definitely think Mark Wahlberg's one of the better actors too. He can be funny, he can be serious. Will Ferrell is always funny to me, and I would check this one out. So the next two movies I have are from the director Ben Affleck. It's called The Town, and then before he directed The Town, he made Gone Baby Gone. I don't have Argo yet. I hope to get it soon, but Gone Baby Gone is a story surrounding Casey Affleck, his younger bro, and then Michelle Monaghan, and they're married detectives, and they're trying to find, well, I don't really want to go too into it because I didn't really know too much about it before I saw it, and it definitely is one of those movies, like I've been telling you about, that really just made me want to pursue writing more, pursue screenwriting in a way, and maybe, you know, make something like this in the future. It's just obviously such a high goal, but it's just one of those movies that really hits you when you first see it. You really just, this was the first movie he ever directed, and it's a masterpiece to me. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen, so I would recommend seeing this. Morgan Freeman's in it. Just a lot of good actors are in it. Ed Harris is in it. Check it out if you haven't already. And also, he made The Town, which had Jeremy Renner from The Hurt Locker. It had, what's her name? Rebecca Hall, John Hamm, Blake Lively. Great movie. I don't really want to go too much into it as well. It's just about a bunch of bank robbers. That's all you really need to know. A bunch of bank robbers in Boston. There's parts at Fenway. It's cool. It's a really cool movie. I would really recommend this one as well. Not as good as Gone Baby Gone in my opinion. I thought Gone Baby Gone was his best movie. A lot of people disagree. They think it was Argo. I'd say go Gone Baby Gone, Argo, then The Town. Even though The Town is an awesome movie. That's saying something good about Ben Affleck as a director. If that's his worst of the three that he's directed. Good director. Very good movies. The next three I have, I own Army of Darkness, but I have it on DVD, not on Blu-ray yet. I hope to get it soon. but it's The Evil Dead, the original, the first one that Sam Raimi made on Blu-ray. Evil Dead 2. Shout out to Mr. Forrestal if you get a chance to watch this. This is one of his favorite movies of all time. Awesome movie, very funny. Sam Raimi made The Evil Dead originally, then a few years later he made this with a bigger budget, and they're both just awesome. I'd really recommend seeing either of these two. You can borrow them from me if you ever need to. Just check them out. They'll make you just laugh your head off. Definitely awesome. And then just a little under a year ago, he made a remake of this. He produced it, called The Evil Dead. And one of the most gory, awesome movies I have ever seen. Just horror movie at its finest. I would really recommend seeing this. A lot of people that I knew kind of hated on it, said it was stupid, but it's at like 60-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I mean, critics did generally like it, and my friend Mike Walsh, who I used to work with, loved it too. We saw this in theaters. We were laughing our heads off at parts when nobody else was. We just thought it was hilarious. Very gory, very awesome. Check this one out. The next movie I have is also another movie that really influenced me to begin writing as well, and it's called Good Will Hunting. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon did the screenplay for this, and they won an award for screenwriting. And Robin Williams is awesome in this. Robin Williams is also another actor that's kind of underappreciated from people I've talked to. They don't, like, my mom does not like him. Like, she likes him as an actor, but hates his comedy. I think he's hilarious. I think he's a fantastic actor. A lot of people have probably already seen this. Good, awesome movie. The next one I have was controversial for its ending. Not too many people liked it, but the ending, everybody that I've talked to really enjoyed it. It's called I Am Legend, and it's got Will Smith, and he's pretty much the only actor in this movie aside from the dog. And it's just an awesome movie. Really kind of mind-blowing how they made this a few years ago and how real it looked to me. Kind of blew me away visually when I first saw it. Really awesome movie. Could watch it again and again, in my opinion. Check it out if you haven't already. The next movie I have is an Academy Award winner, Heath Ledger, Jake Gyllenhaal, Anne Hathaway, Michelle Williams, Brokeback Mountain. And although it's very controversial, I guess, because of obviously the two gay cowboys, but it's awesome. Like, very, very real story. Not a happy ending. Very real. Just movies that I really tend to enjoy more. Just really, really good acting by Heath Ledger, unfortunately, before he passed away. And very good acting by Jake Gyllenhaal as well. Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my more favorite actors as well. If you checked out Prisoners, I don't own that one yet. I really want to, though. But yeah, I would recommend Brokeback Mountain if you have not seen it already. The next movie I am going to show you is called The Wedding Crashers with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. Christopher Walken is in it as well. Very funny movie. And to me, it's kind of a little overrated. I still think it's a very funny movie, but people were telling me that it was like one of the funniest movies they had ever seen. I didn't think it was quite that. I definitely thought it was funny, though. I definitely recommend a viewing of it. I saw it at Target. It was only like $5, so I picked it up. Really funny movie at parts. Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, you can tell, are being their funniest when they're kind of just improvising, going away from the script. And that's what makes an actor so funny, a comedian so funny, is when they can just get material and kind of just create scenes on their own, which is definitely what these two are known for doing. Cool movie. Check it out. These next two next three actually, are from one of my favorite directors of all time, Martin Scorsese. The Departed. Obviously, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's got some of the best actors: Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, Mark Wahlberg. Can't go wrong with The Departed. I also got Shutter Island by Martin Scorsese. One of the coolest movies I had seen at the time. I saw with my friend Connor a long time ago in the theaters, and we were both kind of just like blown away by the ending. Really cool movie. Leonardo DiCaprio stars. Mark Ruffalo's in it. Ben Kingsley's in it. Really good acting. Then here's a movie that not too many people that I've talked to, again, really have heard of from Martin Scorsese. It's called Casino. And it's basically Goodfellas if it were to be in a casino. It's awesome. Joe Pesci plays a super awesome badass. Robert De Niro is great as usual. Robert De Niro is probably my favorite actor of all time, along with Dustin Hoffman. Also really like Ryan Gosling currently. Leonardo DiCaprio, Christian Bale. But Robert De Niro is probably my favorite actor of all time, mainly for Raging Bull, which I don't own on Blu-ray yet. But Casino, really awesome movie, really unknown kind of in a way from people I've talked to. There you go. Check it out if you haven't already. Now the last 6 movies I'm going to show you guys is from my favorite director of all time. Just changed cinema to me when I first saw it. So, we have Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2. And obviously, you know then I'm going to be talking about Quentin Tarantino. These 2 I just picked up over the summer in Target, like $5 each. So best $10 I probably ever spent. These are said to be one of his weaker films, but they're at like 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. So a weak film when it's that high rating can't be too bad then. So yeah, we got both Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. Uma Thurman, definitely one of my favorite actresses. She just plays normally women character, don't always get the best parts from the writing, but definitely awesome parts by Uma Thurman, really badass. I'd really recommend these 2. The next one by Quentin Tarantino is Reservoir Dogs, which I always tell no matter what, I liked this. I don't care. I liked Reservoir Dogs more than Pulp Fiction. It's just so awesome. Really need to see it. So many good actors in it. If you haven't seen it already, I don't even want to tell you about it. I just want you to go out and see it. I don't want to give too much description because if these are movies you haven't seen, they really affected me and drove me to want to write and really inspired me creatively. I just don't want to give too much info about it. I just want you guys to check it out. The next one is probably safe to say, I had a buddy I work with, Mike Walsh. He agrees too that this is Quentin Tarantino's best movie. It's called Inglourious Basterds. And it's just a World War II era movie about them killing Nazis and giving the Nazis basically what they deserved. And it's just so awesome. It's got Brad Pitt, Eli Roth, Christoph Waltz. Such an awesome movie. It's, Eli Roth, when he hits the Nazi with the baseball bat. Crazy scene. Just so many crazy scenes in all of Quentin Tarantino's movies. Probably my favorite one by him. Check this one out. If you need to borrow it, I also own the DVD copy. Please feel free to message me on Facebook or anything if you ever want to borrow a movie. I'm more than happy to let you borrow it because all of these movies deserve to be watched. So check this one out if you haven't. The next one I got during the summer from my girlfriend, and this is Django Unchained. And Django Unchained, definitely, I'd say, might even be my second favorite by him, just because it's got Leonardo DiCaprio, it's got Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, and Leonardo just plays this. Oh yeah, Samuel L. Jackson, when he's in it, he is hilarious. Can't get enough of Samuel L. Jackson. Just awesome acting, just very brutal movie. Again, like the Inglourious Basterds, given the slave, killing the slave owner, slaves are coming out on top, and it's definitely just awesome. You need to check this one out if you haven't. Let me know. Borrow it. I don't care. Django Unchained. Second best, in my opinion, by Quentin Tarantino. And I'll end it with one of cinema's favorite movies of all time. It's Pulp Fiction. And Pulp Fiction just is awesome montage of just awesome scene after scene after scene. Bruce Willis, John Travolta, Uma Thurman, Samuel L. Jackson, Quentin Tarantino is acting in it, Harvey Keitel, Ving Rhames, just Tim Roth, literally could just name all the names in the back, very famous people. Apparently, I think it was the $8 million budget for this movie, $6 million of it was just spent on the actors. Really cool to just see that he was just wanting all of these cool actors to just be in one project. And that's what I really respect about Quentin Tarantino, is just what he does for the movies. Doesn't care about the money. Money is not an object. He doesn't care. He just wants to make a good final product, and Pulp Fiction is proof. So I hope you guys liked my collection. I've been collecting for over a year. Really just something I'm passionate about. Really love movies. Really just am inspiring to write my own screenplay. So if you guys enjoyed this, I hope you did. Alright, thanks.